If you are a Christopher Bell fan, you should be very happy and proud of your driver after yesterday's run at New Hampshire Motor Speedway. It looked as though Martin Truex Jr. was going to be the dominant car to take the victory early on in the race, but in the end, Christopher Bell was able to succeed at a track he's seen a lot of success down in the Xfinity Series to get his second career victory at New Hampshire Motor Speedway. And likewise, by doing so, he became the 14th driver to win this season in NASCAR Cup Series, which has been an incredible run. Last year was impressive enough, seeing 13 drivers take a victory in the 2021 season, but now we've seen 14 full-time Cup Series regulars take a victory, and we still have 6 remaining tracks on a NASCAR Cup Series schedule. With that being said, only 16 can make the 2022 NASCAR playoffs. Of these 6 races, is there anyone that could possibly get a victory and add into that number? Someone who doesn't have a victory, that is. Well, I want to dive into the stats a little bit because, well, if you're a fan of Christopher Bell, you might be happy about this weekend, but if you're a fan of Christopher Bell, Alex Bowman, or Austin Cindric, at this point, you might be worried about where you guys are exactly on the standings, because a few more winners, this could get interesting. We could finally see someone who got a victory not make the playoffs. So with that being said, let's first of all look at where we are without the guys who have won already. Ryan Blaney sits 15th. Of course, he's your 2022 NASCAR All-Star Race winner. Martin Truex Jr., who was on track to have a victory, sits 16th. Martin Truex Jr. is plus 68 to the cutoff line, and Ryan Blaney is 105 to the cutoff line. Then sitting 17th behind him, we have Kevin Harvick, minus 68 from the cutoff line. Eric Almirola is 18th, 129 points outside the cutoff line. Eric Jones is 19th, 154 back, and Austin Dillon is 20th, 198 points back. So let's take a look at the tracks we have coming up. We have a unique lineup of tracks, in all honesty. We have Pocono Raceway, which we have not seen these new NASCAR Cup Series next-gen cars race at a track that can really be compared to Pocono. So this will be interesting to see how these cars perform here. We could potentially see someone we don't expect pull out a victory here. Then after Pocono, we go to the Indianapolis Motor Speedway to run on the Indy road course configuration for the second year in a row in the NASCAR Cup Series. And last year, AJ Allmendinger took the victory there, so who knows what can happen. Then we go to Michigan, and so far the big intermediate style tracks have put on a great performance at most of the entire 2022 NASCAR Cup Series schedule. Then we go to Richmond, and Richmond was kind of a hit or miss track earlier this year. It kind of come down to strategy in the end of it, and Denny Hamlin took the victory there. Then we go to Watkins Glen, and so far at every road course we've been to this year, we've seen a first-time winner. So who knows at the Indy road course or Watkins Glen if that can happen again. And finally, we end the regular season where it all began at Daytona International Speedway for, I'm sure, another wild card super speedway race. So let's dive into a website called driveraverages.com. It's a great tool for you to look into, well, how drivers' averages are at each individual track, who has the best average finish at each individual track in a NASCAR schedule, and other stats that you would need to know. So let's go to Pocono first. So the best average finish since February 2019 is what the most recent data is going to show me here. So since then, the most races that anyone could have ran is 6 races since February of 2019. Denny Hamlin has the best average finish at this track of 4.7. In 6 races, he's won 2 times. He's had 4 top 5s and 5 top 10s with 6 top 20 finishes. So to say he's the favorite is pretty safe. But who is the second most consistent driver here might surprise you, and maybe this can be to his benefit this weekend. Brad Keselowski's average finish is 7.2. In 6 races, he's had 2 top 5s, 5 top 10s, and 6 top 20s. But he does share the same average finish as Kevin Harvick, who is on the outside looking in right now. Kevin Harvick's average finish is 7.2 in 6 races here since 2019. He's won 1 of them. He's had 3 top 5s and 5 top 10s. This could potentially be Kevin Harvick and Brad Keselowski's chance to get into the playoffs. Kevin Harvick still could theoretically get there on points depending on what happens, but I think he will need a win. I think he can get a win. This could potentially be the track that Kevin Harvick scores his victory. But Brad Keselowski, who of course was hurt early on in the season by that 100-point penalty due to the incident that happened earlier in the year, well, he would definitely need a win. And this could be a track that team has circled to try to make that happen. Brad Keselowski did run very well at New Hampshire Motor Speedway this past weekend, so I wouldn't put it past Brad to potentially shock everybody here. So, Brad Keselowski and Kevin Harvick, those are the two most likely drivers that could win at Pocono this weekend. Next, we go to the Indy road course. Now, this, of course, we only have one race to go off of at this one. AJ Allmendinger, of course, won that. Now, for this one, I'm not going to say that we should expect a new winner, but in every road course race we've been to, there has been a first-time winner. So, it could happen, but I'm not going to say it will happen. Some dark horses I would consider for this one would be maybe Michael McDowell. He might shock people at a road course. He is a pretty good road course racer. But if I have to be more realistic, I would kind of expect this one to be won by Chase Elliott. He's been on a hot streak as of late. He's had 4 consecutive top 2 finishes, and a road course is still in his bread and butter. I would say Chase Elliott would be my favorite for that race. But then we go to Michigan, and the driver with the best average finish here since 2019 is Martin Truex Jr., who of course is a guy who is looking like he needs to get that victory to lock himself into the playoffs. And also Kevin Harvick, who, again, will be a favorite at Pocono. Kevin Harvick also has an average finish of 4.8. But of these drivers since February 2019, even though he has the best average finish, Martin Truex Jr. has not won here in the last few races since February of 2019. In the last 5 races, Kevin Harvick, though, has won 3 of those. So I would still put him as the favorite to score the victory at Michigan of those who need one to get in. But now we go to the one where I say if Martin Truex Jr. hasn't gotten it done at Michigan, then this one is the one he needs to win. Since February of 2019, Martin Truex Jr. has ran 6 races here, and he has won 3 times, getting a top 5 in every single one of those races, and his average finish is 2.3. He dominated a good portion of the race earlier this season along with his Joe Gibbs Racing teammates, and he is well overdue for that first victory of the season. He ran well at New Hampshire, which of course is a flatter, shorter, well, not really short track, but it's a flatter track that can run pretty similar to Richmond. I have to say, Martin Truex Jr. has to be my favorite to win at Richmond. So far, I've said that Kevin Harvick would be a favorite to win 2 of these races, Michigan and Pocono, and Martin Truex Jr., I'll be really surprised if he doesn't win Richmond. I mean, could happen or he doesn't, but I would be surprised if it's not Martin Truex Jr. who wins this Richmond race coming up in a few weeks. And then after Richmond, we go to Watkins Glen. Of course, everyone knows how popular of a track this has been for Chase Elliott fans. He has overall just the absolute best average finish here, 1.5 since February 2019. If you want to go back to 2018, he's been even better. He's had 2 victories here since 2018. He finished second to Kyle Larson last year, and you have to imagine he's still on the hot streak at this point. He's got to be your favorite to win these next 2 road courses. He hasn't won on a road course this year, but he should be your favorite for these next 2 road courses. So again, I don't see a new winner coming at Watkins Glen, but that's not to say that it won't happen, because obviously it has at the 3 we've been to already this year. And now finally, here is that last chance dash. This is the chance if someone is going to win and get their way into the playoffs by a wild card race, it's got to be Daytona International Speedway. And well, we got to kind of play around the stats a little bit, because the best average finish is Austin Cindric, but he's only ran 2 races here since February 2019. The 2021 Daytona 500, he was running well in until taken out in the last lap crash, and of course he won the 2022 Daytona 500 for his first career victory. But the guy with the second best average finish here, and this is with 4 races, so we have a little bit more to go off of here, but the guy with the second best average finish is Justin Haley. Now, he has a win at Daytona, of course, coming in that rain-shortened race at Daytona back in 2020. Now, that was Inspire equipment and a rain-shortened race. Now he's with Colleague Racing equipment. That could certainly get the job done at Daytona. He has 2 top 10s, and of course, that one win being his only top 5 at Daytona. His average finish is 10.8. This would be a great race for Justin Haley to shock the world and put himself into a consideration for a win into the playoffs. If Kevin Harvick and Martin Truex Jr. get wins, as I am predicting, maybe expecting, then he would be a 17th driver to win this season. That would make things interesting there at the cutoff line based on points of who gets in and who doesn't. Maybe Justin Haley still wouldn't get in even with that victory because, from my understanding, he's not that great on the points, so it might not would even work for Justin Haley. Now, a few more names that stand out as we go down to the top 10 best average finishes at Daytona that really stand out. That's Corey LaJoie being one of them. Of course, back in the 2020 Daytona 500, he was running really well, got into that accident that, saw him hitting Ryan Newman. So we've seen him run good at super speedways a lot in the past. Of course, at Atlanta Motor Speedway, which now races like a super speedway, back just a few weeks ago, he was contending for the win and ultimately come up short with the block by Chase Elliott. Corey LaJoie could be someone that you need to keep your eye out for Daytona. He got a taste of it at Atlanta. This could be a chance for him to get a victory. But again, he's in that situation I just mentioned, Justin Haley. Would that help him? Probably not. But, maybe I could be wrong. I'm not looking into the points enough right now when I'm saying this, but I'm saying I wouldn't call Corey LaJoie winning to be something I couldn't see happening. Next up is Michael McDowell, the 2021 Daytona 500 winner. He has, of course, had a pretty decent season. He's had a few races where it's looked like he could be in contention. This is another one that, I wouldn't call him someone I couldn't expect to win. But, it could happen. He's won here before, and it could very easily happen again for Michael McDowell. And finally, another guy that we have to talk about when it comes to super speedway racing, because it's a chance for anyone. But, of course, Bubba Wallace is a pretty decent super speedway racer. We've seen him up in the front a lot of these races, but he's usually something gone wrong. He hasn't been there at the end of it. He finished second in Daytona 500 2 times. And this could easily be a track where he could get a victory. He has won at Talladega before, but of course that was rain shortened. Again, Bubba Wallace could win, but based on points and where they're at, that still might prevent them from getting into the playoffs if there is more than 16 winners. And I think there very well could be, because I still could see a win easily coming from Martin Truex Jr. and Kevin Harvick. But that's a look at the remaining 6 races on a NASCAR Cup Series schedule. It's been a wild season so far. Anyone could and maybe still will win. That's just a few names that I would look at for each individual track that we're going to. But what do you guys think? Leave your comments down below. Is there anyone you expect that could shock us and get a win and get their way into the playoffs? Drop your comments down below and let me know what you guys think. If you're new to DannyBTalks, make sure you leave a like on today's video. Subscribe to the channel for more NASCAR and other motorsports content here on my channel. We talk about it pretty much every week, and we'll have more to discuss as the week goes on. And until next time, hey, thanks so much for watching. I hope you guys have a great day. Bye, guys. Hey race fans, thanks for watching this video from DannyBTalks. If you're new to my channel, please be sure to hit subscribe and click the notification bell so you never miss another video from my channel.